So the new Lost Jungle update came out in Roblox Fisch, and with that brought 4 brand new rods. And a lot of people, myself included, are probably wondering which of these rods is the best, and are they actually worth the money? So I'm going to be testing and ranking each one of them. Here's the game plan. I'm going to be testing each of these rods for 10 minutes, specifically all of the rods in the same location, which is going to be Castaway Cliffs. And then after the 10 minutes is up, we're going to sell my inventory and see how much money we get from that rod. And then at the end of the video, we will compare all the rods to see which one can earn the most amount of money. Real quick, if you are new around here, I'd appreciate a lot if you dropped a sub with notifications on. I put a lot of work into these videos. Anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with the Vine Weaver rod, you get this for $150,000. You can craft it at the Ancient Archives with a vined driftwood, a vine line, and a vined mouth pearl. Here are the stats on the rod. So overall, not the best stats, but not too bad. And the passive ability is that it freezes fish after 70% of progress bars filled. It has a 30% chance to get the vine mutation, which is a 3.5x cell multiplier, as well as a plus 10% force progress speed, which basically just means any fish is going to be given this progress speed, even if it's something like the Scylla. So after 10 minutes, I sold my inventory and I got $18,992, and I did get one secret, so I went and sold that as well and got $40,112 for a grand total of $59,104. Moving on to the Toxic Spire rod, coming in at $170,000. This can be also crafted in the Ancient Archives with a poison driftwood, a toxic core, and murky thread. Here are the stats on the rod. It has some pretty low resilience, unfortunately. And then the passive is a 15% chance to fully freeze a lured fish and granting plus 70% progress speed, a 15% chance for the toxic mutation, which is going to be an 8x cell multiplier, and a 20% progress speed. So after 10 minutes of fishing, I sold my inventory and I got $148,133. Next up, we have the Elder Moss Ripper. This rod is a pain to get. It does cost $350,000, but you also craft it at the Ancient Archives. However, the ingredients for this one is going to be a mossy core, an elder moss jaw, which is the new boss, and then a shrouded golden sea pearl, which is a mutation that is incredibly rare to get. It's like a 0.03% chance at the appraiser. Thing took me forever to get. Here are the stats on the rod. So overall, the stats are actually pretty decent. And then the passive ability as well, it's a plus 45% weight buff to all caught fish. That's a very good passive by itself. A 20% chance for the shrouded mutation, which is a 7.5x cell multiplier, 5% chance for mossy, which is a 16.5x cell multiplier, plus 30% progress speed, and every 2 minutes you receive a higher chance to catch a higher rarity fish with the mossy mutation. This rod was way more OP before, but they ended up nerfing it because of how OP it was. However, it's still pretty OP because after 10 minutes, I sold my inventory at $540,798. However, I did get 5 secrets from the passive ability, which since it has the mossy enchant, I sold for $2.8 million, coming out to a grand total of $3.4 million in just 10 minutes. So this rod is incredibly overpowered. And finally, we have the developer rod that's obtainable through a quest. To get it, you have to have a shiny big bait crate that is 12.8 kg, a shiny King's Blessing pufferfish, as well as a shiny blessed whale shark, which that is definitely one of the most annoying ones out of all of them. Here are the stats on the rod. They're very, very high, as you can tell. And then the passive ability, which they recently buffed, is a instantly fills 50% of the bar every catch, a 25% chance for breezed, which is a 10x cell multiplier, and then a plus 50% progress speed during a windy weather, which I did use a wind totem so we could get the full effect of this rod because the rod is meant to be like a very fast and speedy rod. The rod is super fun to actually use as well. After 10 minutes of fishing with this rod, I got $1.1 million, and I also got one secret, which I sold for another $46,000, coming out to a grand total of $1,218,355. So overall, not too bad, and it's an incredibly fun rod to use because it's super quick. So for the final ranking of these rods, least to greatest, it's going to be the Vine Weaver rod, Toxic Spire, Wind Elemental, and Elder Moss Ripper, which just clears every other rod. It's the best rod right now with this update. Anyways, if you guys are new around here, make sure to drop a sub with notifications on. I'll see you in the next one.